Morning. It's Friday, December 15th, 2023. So, took a little twist on the 2001. After I finished my video yesterday, I had the voltmeter I hooked up the voltmeter to the battery, and I discovered that the battery only had 8 volts in it. And that's why when I was testing for a short, I was getting a weird reading. Normally when you hook up the test light blinks and goes out. So it'll come on bright and then it'll go out. And that's just the system charges and then it goes off. And what I was getting was a dim light, a constant dim light. And it turns out it was because the battery only had 8 volts in it. So I took the battery out of this truck, put it in there, and now I'm not having a problem with the battery going dead. I took the battery back to the parts store, and this is the replacement that they gave me. I'm putting this in this truck. Gonna leave the negative disconnected for now, and because I'm not gonna be driving this truck. In fact, I'll be driving the 2001 every day probably. What happened was the memory got wiped when I changed the battery back in June, and then the new battery was failing and the battery went dead and the memory got wiped again. So when I went to get inspected the other day, they told me that the memory was wiped. They couldn't do the inspection. I had to drive the truck. So I drove the truck 50 miles yesterday and this morning, and took it back over. And they said, no, you haven't driven it enough. I asked them, how far do you think I got to drive it? And they said they weren't sure. They had one guy that drove all the way to Louisiana and back, and it hadn't reset, and he had a 2017 Chevrolet, and he had to get a waiver from the state, which is what I'm probably going to be doing, so I'm going to drive it until the last day of the month, and then take it over and have them check it again, see if it'll pass, and if it doesn't, I'll have to apply for a stupid waiver from the state. This truck has a carburetor, no ECM, non-emission. The only thing you have to do on a truck like this is have all the mechanical stuff and the lighting working properly. So this truck's looking better and better, man. The more I think about it, I'm thinking about making this my daily driver and taking the 2001 off the road. Maybe do a rat rod out of it. So yesterday I was feeling in this area. I felt a little dip right in here. So I made a block sander with a 4x4 and some, this is that belt paper that I told you guys I bought it at the flea market. I got a whole bunch of it. It's this, the sanded paper for, sanded it, got it smooth now. I'm getting real close on this. I keep finding things that I don't like, and I don't see it all at once. It's like it comes to me after a while. So I'm working on it to get that straightened out. So the day after I installed this window, I opened it, and I opened it too far, and it hit this and broke. So I have another window I need to install it, so I'm not getting wind through here. It's amazing. It's my kind of luck, though. Out from Rusty, Rhode Island. Keep smiling.